Have you ever had that unmistakable feeling, that gentle but persistent nudge from the universe, telling you that you're meant for something more? Maybe you've caught yourself staring out the window during your daily routine, feeling a mysterious pull towards something you can't quite name. You're not alone in this experience, and what you're feeling isn't just random. It could be the first whispers of a spiritual awakening. Think of it like being gently tapped on the shoulder by the universe itself. Just as a flower doesn't question its natural urge to bloom, you too might be feeling this natural calling to expand beyond your current understanding of life. This isn't about ego or special privileges. It's about awakening to your authentic purpose and the deeper mysteries of existence. You see, spiritual awakening isn't reserved for monks in mountaintop monasteries or mystics in ancient temples. It's a profound journey that can begin right here, right now, in the midst of your everyday life. And if you're listening to these words right now, feeling that resonance in your heart, that itself might be one of the first signs that you're being called to awaken. Let's dive deeper into what a spiritual awakening really means and why understanding this process is crucial for anyone feeling called to a higher purpose. Imagine your consciousness as a house you've lived in all your life. You know every room, every corner, every familiar creak in the floorboards. But suddenly you discover a hidden door, one that leads to rooms you never knew existed. That's what spiritual awakening feels like. This transformation isn't just about having occasional spiritual thoughts or practicing meditation. It's a fundamental shift in how you perceive and interact with reality itself. Think about it like this. Have you ever watched a movie you loved as a child, then revisited it as an adult? Suddenly you notice layers of meaning you completely missed before. That's similar to what happens during an awakening, but it applies to every aspect of your life. The first major aspect of awakening is what we call the lifting of the veil. This is when you begin to see beyond the surface-level reality that most people accept without question. You might start noticing synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. You might feel increasingly disconnected from the constant chase for material success or social status that drives our society. While this can feel unsettling at first, it's actually a sign of profound growth. Then comes the perspective shift, which is perhaps the most transformative part of the journey. Imagine you've been watching life in black and white, and suddenly colors start appearing. Things that once seemed critically important, like having the latest gadgets or maintaining a certain image, might start feeling hollow. Instead, you find yourself drawn to deeper questions. What is my true purpose? How can I serve others? What really matters in the grand scheme of things? Research supports this transformation. A fascinating study conducted in 2020 revealed that 85% of individuals experiencing spiritual awakening reported a dramatic shift in their value systems. People often move from external validation to internal wisdom, from competitive mindsets to collaborative ones, from fear-based decisions to love-based choices. But here's what's really interesting. This shift doesn't happen in isolation. As you begin to change, you might notice your relationships changing too. Some people might drift away while new, more aligned connections seem to appear almost magically in your life. It's as if the universe is rearranging your social circle to support your evolution. The first and perhaps most fascinating sign is the appearance of synchronicities in your life. These aren't just random coincidences. They're like cosmic winks from the universe, telling you you're on the right path. Imagine thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in years, and suddenly they call you within minutes. Or perhaps you keep seeing certain numbers, 1111, 333, 444, at exactly the moments when you're contemplating important life decisions. Let me share a personal story that illustrates this perfectly. A spiritual teacher I know was questioning their path, feeling uncertain about their direction. That very day, they encountered 3 different strangers who, without prompting, told them they were meant to be a teacher. The universe has a way of speaking to us through these meaningful coincidences. Moving to our second sign, heightened intuition. This isn't just about having good hunches. It's about developing what feels like a supernatural ability to sense truth from falsehood, to know things without logical explanation. Your gut feelings become so strong they're impossible to ignore. Think of it like having an internal GPS that's suddenly been upgraded to crystal clear HD reception. You might find yourself knowing exactly who's calling before you check your phone, or having a strong feeling to take a different route home, only to later discover you avoided a major traffic jam. The third sign, and perhaps one of the most challenging, is the emergence of radical self-honesty. This is where the real inner work begins. You start seeing yourself with unprecedented clarity, both the light and the shadow aspects of your personality. It's like turning on all the lights in a room that's been dim for years. Suddenly, you see the dust in the corners, the cobwebs in the ceiling. Metaphorically speaking, these are the patterns, beliefs, and behaviors you've been avoiding looking at. This might manifest as suddenly recognizing toxic patterns in your relationships, acknowledging addictive behaviors, or facing deep-seated fears you've been running from. The fourth sign is perhaps the most mystical, developing a profound connection with cosmic energies. This isn't about believing in something, it's about experiencing it directly. You might find yourself deeply moved by the sight of trees swaying in the wind, feeling an inexplicable connection to the stars at night, or experiencing moments of complete unity with all of existence. Some people report feeling energy moving through their bodies during meditation, while others describe a sensation of being plugged into a universal power source. This connection often comes with a deep sense of peace and belonging that transcends ordinary experience. The fifth sign, inner transformation, is like watching yourself evolve in real time. Your dreams become more vivid and meaningful, often containing messages or insights that help guide your journey. You might find yourself naturally gravitating toward healthier choices, not because you're forcing yourself, but because your body and soul are calling for it. The need for solitude becomes more pronounced. You're not being antisocial. You're charging your spiritual batteries and processing deep internal changes. This transformation often comes with physical symptoms too, changes in sleep patterns, dietary preferences, or energy levels. You might find yourself naturally waking up during the early morning hours, particularly between 3 and 4 a.m., what mystics call the spiritual hour. Your body might start rejecting foods that don't serve your highest good, particularly processed foods or stimulants. What's crucial to understand about these signs is that they rarely appear in isolation. They're interconnected, each one reinforcing and amplifying the others. Think of it like a symphony where different instruments join in one by one, creating an increasingly complex and beautiful melody of awakening. It's also important to note that experiencing these signs doesn't mean your life suddenly becomes perfect, or that you've reached some final destination. Spiritual awakening is a journey, not a destination. These signs are like trail markers, confirming you're on the path but not defining the entire journey. Now that you recognize these signs of awakening in your life, let's talk about how to embrace and nurture this profound transformation. Remember, your spiritual journey is as unique as your fingerprint. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to awakening. What works beautifully for someone else might not resonate with you at all, and that's perfectly okay. Think of your awakening like tending to a garden. Just as each plant needs its own combination of sunlight, water, and care to thrive, your spiritual growth needs its own unique blend of practices and support. Some of you might find deep peace in traditional meditation, while others might experience your most profound insights while walking in nature or creating art. The key is to trust your intuition about what feels right for you. Start with simple, sustainable practices. Maybe it's 5 minutes of mindful breathing each morning, keeping a dream journal by your bedside, or taking regular walks in nature without your phone. These seemingly small actions can create powerful ripples in your consciousness. And don't forget, this journey isn't meant to be walked alone. There's a whole community of awakening souls out there, each at different stages of their own journey. Whether it's through books, online communities, or in-person gatherings, allow yourself to be supported by others who understand what you're experiencing. The most important thing to remember is that awakening isn't about becoming someone new. It's about unveiling who you've always been beneath the layers of conditioning and limiting beliefs. Trust the process, be gentle with yourself, and know that every step, even the challenging ones, is leading you toward your highest expression. As we come to the close of our exploration, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound journey of spiritual awakening we've discussed. Think back to where we started, that initial whisper, that subtle feeling that there's something more to life. Now you understand that this wasn't just random uncertainty, it was the beginning of something extraordinary. We've explored how synchronicities appear like cosmic breadcrumbs leading you forward, how your intuition becomes sharper and more reliable, and how you begin to see yourself and the world with new eyes. These aren't just interesting phenomena. They're sacred indicators that you're being called to expand beyond your current understanding of reality. Remember, when you experience these signs, the meaningful coincidences, the deepening intuition, the desire for authentic truth, the connection to something greater, and the inner transformation, you're not losing your mind. You're actually finding your soul. This awakening is your birthright, a natural evolution of consciousness that's happening at exactly the right time for you. As you move forward from here, carry with you this essential truth. You haven't been chosen for this awakening by accident. Your soul has been preparing for this expansion since before you were born. Trust in the wisdom that called you to this path, and know that every challenge you face is actually an opportunity for growth. Every moment of confusion is a doorway to clarity, and every step you take, even the ones that feel like steps backward, is leading you home to your truest self.